Sam, do you want to see if Libertarian's on the line or no? Up to you. I received a mention on Twitter that a guy with a 571 area code was going to call.
All right, let's do this. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Calling from a 571 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Sam. This is Dan Norton 1 from YouTube.
Okay. Hi, Dan Norton 1 from YouTube.
Hi. I published a video about you yesterday relating to Ayn Rand and Social Security, and there was a little Twitter thread about it in which you were tagged, including by Bradley. Did you see any of that? Or
I got to be honest with you, I didn't. I'm not on Twitter that much.
Okay. Well, an issue that comes up in the video is just, did you change your mind on whether you think Ayn Rand is hypocritical for taking Social Security?
Did I change my mind?
Yes.
I mean, I don't really know. What did I change my mind? I mean, look, is it hypocritical for her to do that? I think there's an argument that yes, it's hypocritical, but I don't really care that much, frankly. I mean, I think her philosophy was odious, and I think it's sort of funny that she would take Social Security, but you know. That's not my biggest problem with her. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, you said in my last call that you did not think she was hypocritical. And there is a video from 13 years ago on your channel titled Ayn Rand Secret Socialist, which I found, in which it seems to be one of your themes that she was hypocritical. And I think there's a case to be made that you were smearing her in that video. So
how did I smear her?
Well, I can tell you some of the things you said in the video. You said it's that on her view, individuals are blood-sucking leeches or parasites or less of a human being if they take Social Security. You said that on her view is that you are a scumbag if you take government help, unless it's Medicare and Social Security for me. And you asked, I guess rhetorically at one point, is this the pinnacle of hypocrisy? You said her taking Social Security was completely contrary to her objectivist philosophy, and all that is totally wrong. So those are some of the things you said about her, but they're straw men, and they get her view completely wrong. And we discussed that in some of my previous calls, and it seemed like you were coming around to the view that it was not hypocritical for her to do that.
I mean, I am firmly in the camp of I don't care about it being hypocritical or not being hypocritical. I mean, her philosophy is garbage. Libertarianism is a joke. It has been proven over and over again with almost every call that we've had. It is overly pedantic. The idea that you would invest this much time into the argument as that I've been inconsistent as to whether Ayn Rand was hypocritical for taking Social Security or not over the course of a 14-year period, I think is indicative of the absolute bankruptcy of libertarian ideology.
Okay, well, you've just thrown out some insults, but I don't think that really contributes much substantive to the discussion.
Oh, I actually do not believe there's anything substantive to this discussion whatsoever.
It's like multiplying something by zero.
I mean, honestly, like what is it substantive? I mean, are you just calling because you're concerned that somehow I have ruined the perspective of Ayn Rand in society? Is that what it is? Like, what's the substantive point of this entire thing?
Well, I do believe in truth and justice, and if I think you do, then it's good to have a just characterization of people.
Well, I definitely think
not smear them.
I think honestly, when we talk about justice, the worst things you could say about Ayn Rand, I think, are just.
Okay, well, there's really no substance there. You're just registering your opinion of insult. It doesn't really contribute anything substantive to the discussion as to why you disagree. And if you smear her and strawman her as a justification for thinking the philosophy is bad, that's worthless.
I disagree.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've saved a lot.
Well, why
saved
don't
a
you
lot of
make a
people a lot of like.
We are doing substance.
Being
It's you
lost.
who's not doing substance. You're completely without substance.
Like
All we're doing is giving you substance.
What
so.
do you want? Like what is substantive about the idea that I thought she was hypocritical 14 years ago and not today?
Well, you're giving a very bad impression to your audience about her views. You're smearing her. I mean, is that just to do?
Is that just? I mean, I think based upon what Ayn Rand has sort of subjected the rest of us, I think that is, there's an argument that maybe she needs more smearing.
So it's just to lie and tell falsehoods about her?
I mean, you and I have a difference of opinion on this question. I mean, she can twist her philosophy, and you can twist her philosophy in any way that would make her taking Social Security being fine. But I think that the idea...
You said it was fine yourself in my last call. You said it was not hypocritical.
I mean, Dan, I honestly don't care about any of this, but good luck with your project.
But you
honestly just spent 6 minutes on that.
Dan, the substance is is Social Security a good policy? Not like the biography of this horrible woman who believes in policy that would like to impoverish elderly people. Like, we're
Dan,
not talking about people. Small minds talk about people.
Let's talk about something substantive. What is your perspective on Social Security?
I think it's immoral because it coerces people.
You think it's immoral?
Some people to support others.
Now we're
Wait a
heading
second.
somewhere, Dan.
Okay.
Here we
Now,
go.
You think it's immoral because it's coercive, because taxes you think are immoral?
Yeah, I think it's wrong to force some to support others. I believe in personal responsibility.
Let me ask you a question.
You can try to
Okay,
seek
I get
justice.
you.
Libertarian justice.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think it's wrong to engage in processes that are immoral?
Processes that are immoral? Can
Yeah.
you give a concrete example?
Well, I mean, if you think something's immoral, do you think you should engage with it and actually promote it?
No, if your way of engaging with it is immoral, but I don't think that's...
Do you
if
think
you're
that actually engaging in the full process of Social Security? I mean, I get that you're forced to pay Social Security taxes and you consider that immoral. But how do you get away with actually helping reinforce the Social Security system by taking the money?
You're not reinforcing it if you're arguing against it. And if you only let the people who want it to have it, then you're surrendering to a parasite kind of mentality.
But don't you think that you are propagating
Social
Social Security by going and cashing that check? Wouldn't it be better to take that check and burn it?
Go to jail.
No, why allow yourself to be martyred and only other people get the benefit from things and not you?
Yeah, why stand up for your principles?
So wait a second. So people do benefit from Social Security, but it's still immoral because you're forced to
They've
pay the
been
tax.
coerced. It's restitution. It's restitution for harm the government has done to you. They're not just getting a benefit that they haven't contributed to.
Most people aren't harmed by it. Most people are benefited by it, though. It's just wealthy people.
Well, and I mean, the government certainly doesn't see it as restitution. Do you think it's weird that you twist what the meaning of Social Security is so that you can justify taking it?
I'm not twisting what the meaning is.
You just
Very
said it was
clear that-
restitution.
Yeah.
Is that
if
truthful?
You view it that way. It's
Well,
wrong to take it.
wait.
can
So
view
it's
it that
not
way.
restitution, but you just imposed that on it. Didn't you just say to me
libertarian lens.
that doing that was unjust?
It's unjust to forcibly take people's income. It's
No.
not unjust
I'm
to
saying
get your
you
income back.
said that taking Social Security payments is restitution. But the government doesn't call that. You're the only person I've ever even heard call it that. And now you're just telling me, oh, well, that's my opinion. Well,
No, Ayn Rand discusses this in her article, The Question of Scholarship. She explains how if you view it as restitution for harm that the government has done.
well, if I view it as
taking money,
hypocrisy because she is she thinks it's antithetical to people's benefit to be forced into a Social Security system, yet she fully participates in it. If I view that as hypocrisy, how is that any more or less legitimate than her saying, I view it as restitution, therefore it is? I mean, come on.
She's not doing anything contrary to her principles by taking it. Her principles do
Well, she
not
just
say
made that up.
you
I'm not
cannot-
doing anything contrary to my principles either by saying at one point that it's hypocritical and so at one point that it's not. It's just like at different times I have a different view of it.
I'm not saying you're hypocritical. I'm saying your claim that Ayn Rand is hypocritical is wrong.
Yeah, but I've
Because
changed
she's
that.
not
I can go back and forth because it's just my view.
It's kind of secondary.
It's just about what she said in terms of calling Social Security restitution. Nobody thinks of it as restitution. She just made that up to justify taking it.
I think of restitution. Many objectivists think of it as restitution. Medicare as well.
Yeah.
Whenever you're getting a benefit from the government, if you see it as restitution for it coercively taking away your property, I mean, it's a very common thing. If
Well, of course, but that sounds like a
Don't contradict the
total
objectivists.
rationalization.
Yeah, don't contradict the
it's
objective.
not a rationalization.
Oh,
It's a
it
very
is, yeah.
straightforward
It
way of
really
looking
is.
at it.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate this. This was very substantive. I appreciate the call.
All right. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay. Thank you. I tried to give him now he can make another video where I split the difference between the two.
On this long continuum.
All the harms. Why do the people put up with being harmed by Social Security for so long?
It's
justice.
It's restitution. If you view it that way, then it's okay to take it. But if that's basically like saying, well, what if I view taking money from the bank that's not mine? It's restitution. Like the grief that I have been put through by the bank. Do you know how much time I've wasted with bank, the procedures and this and that? It's like, I want restitution for that. I happen to find a bag of money that somebody forgot to put into the ATM and I took it. That's restitution. I don't know. It doesn't work that way. All right, let's continue on with the fun half. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.